Hello everyone, we are group 4 and like our group we have 4 members. This is me, Thu Quỳnh, this is Phúc Duy, this is Hải Đăng and this is Linh Chi. So before we start, I want to ask you a question. Which impact do you believe peer pressure has, positive or negative? So what do you think?
Peer pressure influence students negatively regarding their academic performance and their mental health.
Okay, so how about you, Quỳnh Trang? What do you think about this?
I think it's negative impact.
So we can see that both answers, they said that peer pressure put negative impact. So it's true. Let's figure out with us in our presentation topic today. How does peer pressure impact on you as a freshman? First of all, let me clarify the definition of peer pressure. According to Britannica Dictionary, peer pressure is defined as the feeling that you must do the same thing as other people of your age and social group do, like to be liked or respected by them. And now let's move on to the table of contents. We will go through the 4 main parts about the introduction of the issue, the results of the investigation, also the recommendation, and last is about the conclusion. Now let's move on to the reason why we choose this topic, which is presented by Linh Chi.
Hello everyone, my name is Linh Chi, and this is the result of the first questions about questionnaire. The question is, have you ever felt pressured by your peer? And the result that we received was not too surprising. Up to 93% of respondents has experienced peer pressure. And this number partly shows that in the society, there are a lot of people have facing the problems that are peer pressure. And this is also the reason why our groups choose topic to explore whether it have a negative influence or positive influence on elite freshmen. And we want to find what aspects were affected most on their life. And also we want to find solutions to overcome the negative influence of peer pressure.
So we have received like 100 respondents from the U.S. freshmen. And why freshmen? Because according to Dr. Kendra Seaman, adolescents are the age group that affected by peer pressure the most. And also we choose school to conduct our survey by online surveying and interviewing, and also collected some information from the report we searched online.
Okay, now let's move to the part 2 of our presentations. It is investigation result. And firstly, let's see how peer pressure affected on elite freshmen academic performance. Up to 59% of respondents believe that peer pressure significantly impacts their academic performance, while the remaining part of respondents, about 42% respondents, believe that peer pressure just have the impacts of peer pressure is negligible. One have to choose the factor of peer pressure have the most influence on their grade. 92% of people believe that peer pressure, the score pressure could have the biggest influence on the development of peer pressure. It is interestingly that just 23% of students choose the competitive options in the classroom, while usually the peer pressure often appears on this environment. The result that we receive on this question is about equal. 51% of respondents say that the peer pressure reduce their motivations to study, but Although it's a little bit higher, but the sizable of 49% of students claim that their peer pressure does not lessen their desire to study. So, in contrast to the popular belief, peer pressure is not a way bad. So, the reason why we will explore more in the next part of our presentations by Phúc Duy.
Hello everyone, my name is Phúc Duy. So I'm going to talk about how peer pressure affected on mental health. So on the charts, the percentage of peer pressure affect student emotions negatively takes the highest at 55%. Another 27% of people said that the peer pressure does not affect their emotion much. And the people who feel positive or very positive have a respectively percentage, and only 1% of the people feel very negatively. So, and about the peer pressure symptoms, so on the survey, we see that about most of the people feel very stressed when they are suffer from peer pressures. Another symptoms like decline in self-confidence and anxiety that many people say that are suffering from too, take about 45 and 49% respectively. Some people also say that they have depression and sleepiness when they have peer pressures, although these two have a less percentage than the other three, but it still have a large number in the survey, and only less than 1% of people feel motivated in studying when they have peer pressures. And about this statistic, so less than a quarter of people have done any dangerous behavior due influenced by peer pressure, so it does not affect them too much. Although the people who commit not doing any bad stuff, 12% of them have confessed doing it. So this needs to be focused on, and this can be a fundamental for education experts and parents to be aware about their children in educating and guiding ways to deal with peer pressure. So we're going to move on the next of how peer pressure affects on social.
Hello everyone, it's me again, Thu Quỳnh. So in the next part of our form, we have asked some questions related to how peer pressure affected on social activities. And we can see on the pie chart that the majority of freshmen usually take part in social activity with approximate to 76%. And with that statistic, we wonder whether this isn't influenced by peer pressure. We can see on the second pie chart that the percentage of individuals who think peer pressure put pressure on their choice toward taking part in social activities was 53%, and those almost equal to those holding the opposite viewpoint, which occupy 47%. So this outcome indicate that peer pressure is likely to be an essential but not the sole factor that determining the participation of social activities. And this pie chart illustrates that have these people noticed any changes in their friend relationships when they participate or not participate in social activities, and we figure out that up to 76% people notice changes. So what are these changes? We can see on the pie chart here, up to 16% people making new friends, and about nearly 18% improving current friendships, and moreover nearly 41% feeling closer to the group of their friends. However, we can see that up to 16.3% people have the feeling of isolation. This is still like a noteworthy number, which means that people still feel separated if they do not join in social activities. And with all the statistics we have mentioned above, this can prove that peer pressure might not be as bad as people often think. So in the next part, we have figured out the interview which is presented by Hải Đăng.
So hello guys, I'm Hải Đăng and this is our results of interviews. So according to our interview we conduct, most students feels a big difference in peer pressure at universities. Reason may vary from the pressures of a new competitive environment to the pressures of building relationships. For them, peer pressure is not a new phenomenon that occur at university. They have emerged at previous levels of education. So, plus most of them consider academic performance as the main cause leading to peer pressure. They may see other students striving for a better academic performance and seeing them making progress faster than them, which extinguishes their motivation to study. Others choose social activities as the main cause leading to peer pressure, as they may find difficult to choose a suitable relationship for themselves. So what are the solutions for these problems? So we have conducted research and collecting people viewpoints. Then our group had come up with some ideas. To begin with, in spite of disadvantages, impact, social peer pressure also has some advantages, influence. For example, some people consider it as a motivation to study. Therefore, this is inherent to the whole comparative viewpoints, instead of holding one side evaluation about it, avoiding being negative about it. Furthermore, Wang Jianluo studies in the 2023 also notes that adolescents are so susceptible to peer pressure due to their tendency to have weak, swayable, and curious mindsets. Therefore, this is essential to establish clear boundaries and limits which enable them to reject peer pressure, and they can find easy to say no to their peers. And we also find two more solutions. So one's involving talking to friends and families, because we feel more at ease when we communicate with someone who is dear to us. And another solution involves taking exercise. So to put it in another way, when we are in good physical condition, we can perform our task efficiently. We can boost our confidence and relieve stress. So let's move to the conclusion part presented by Phúc Duy.
Hello everyone. So after all the investigation of our group, we came across some interesting findings. So the majority of the first year students of Julis are concerned about peer pressure, and they said that they have been experiencing this before. Most of them reported that their academic performance issues significantly influenced by peer pressure. Although numerous students suffer from stress and decrease in self-confidence, they do not engage in any dangerous behavior. Regarding the social activities, they constantly participate in any social activities. The impact of peer pressure on choosing social activities does not affect much, and the students seem to think that peer pressure had made a change in their relationship. The more changes on improving our relationship and making new friends, based on the data we have collected, because peer pressure also brings benefits to people, especially freshmen. So we should not take a biased viewpoint toward this problem. Moreover, we suggest some ways to deal with the negative side of peer pressure, such as create obvious boundaries, limitations to provide freshmen opportunities to choose whether to say no to their peer requests, talking with friends and family, and doing exercise regularly. Thank you for listening to our group presentations. So let's move to the Q&A sections. So